When you clearly don't work somewhere, but people seem to think you do. Welcome to this episode of I Don't Work Here, Lady. Our first one is from Joe Schro. I actually just quit retail after 5 years, but found this subreddit and had to share this story. About a year or two ago, I was inside an Adidas outlet store just shopping for shoes. I don't work for Adidas, let alone at the store I was shopping at. I was there in joggers, not Adidas, a sweatshirt, and Nike sneakers. A woman came up to me with a box of shoes as I was trying to shop and asked me if they had it in a specific size. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't work here." To which she responded, "Oh, I'm sorry, you just look so athletic." I thought it was funny and kind of just brushed it off. Maybe because I work in retail, I made some sort of eye contact with her that she mistook for me wondering if she needed any help. Anyway, I just kept shopping. I went into another aisle and she approached me yet again with a box of shoes and asked if the store had it in another size. I said, "Ma'am, I don't work here." She laughed and apologized again and walked away. I can't even make this up. She approached me a third time, just minutes later, and said, "I can't find anyone to help me. I just want to know if these shoes are available in another size." I was a little annoyed and told her I would like some space and that she should find an associate. She just kept standing there looking at me, and I ended up walking up to the cashier and asking them to find someone so I could shop in peace. Truly, I'm not sure why she was so fixated on me helping her, but I haven't been back to that Adidas since. Edit, there's a few people saying she was hitting on me. I was a 19 to 20-year-old girl at the time, and this was an older woman, probably in her late 40s. I think she was commenting on my outfit being athletic rather than me, based on the context. While that would be flattering, I just don't think that was the case. By calling me athletic, I think she was explaining her logic in approaching me. The fact that she approached you 2 times after you had already told her that you don't work there, I don't understand people like that, especially considering the fact that, if she could have went up to the cashier to ask, why didn't she do that? This next one is by Trash for Panda. This happened during the pandemic, so sanitizing was a much bigger priority. I was pulling a shopping cart from the rack and I grabbed a sanitizing wipe to clean the handle and other spots I might touch. While I was cleaning it, a woman came up to me and told me what a great job I was doing, then grabbed the cart and tried to pull it away from me. I was confused, so I held on to it and gave her a funny look. She tried to thank me and take it still, so I asked what she was doing. She explained she thought I worked there and was cleaning the carts for the customers due to my professional appearance. I was wearing a graphic t-shirt and jeans and had no indication I was an employee, so I'm not sure why she thought I was. It amazes me that this woman assumes just because you're cleaning a cart down for your own personal use that you're actually doing it as a service for her. God, her entitlement is ridiculous. This next one is from Z Palin. I am at the mall and decide it was time to repurchase my black high-top Converse. Walked into the shoe store and saw a group of workers chilling in the center of the room. One of them turns to me and I ask if they've got Converse like the ones I'm wearing. He says no, so I ask him if he has normal high tops in black and he says yeah. So I ask if he has them in my size and he says, "No, I'm looking for 9s. Cue puzzled expression on both of our faces. Then we laugh, fist bump, and then leave shortly after staff tells us the shoes are all sold out. Wait, so they're both looking for shoes? I'm kind of confused with this one, but regardless, it's still funny either way. This next one is by Montserrat 2022. So I was at Walgreens last night waiting for the pharmacist to give me my first shingles vaccine. There are 2 to 6 months apart. Fun times. I had an appointment, but I'm in Florida, so that means absolutely nothing. I was there over 30 minutes past my appointment time, and I was bored, so I started walking around the immediate vicinity of the pharmacy desk so I could hear them call my name, and was fiddling with some vitamins, reading labels, etc. I was clumsy and managed to knock a few bottles down with my giant purse as I turned away, so I went ahead and picked them up and put them back on the shelves. I completed my task and began walking away when I hear, "Where are the diapers?" Mind you, no excuse me, no please, no nothing, just a barked question. I kept walking because I assumed she was speaking to an employee. There had been one in the next aisle a minute prior. Thinking how rude some people are, when I literally have to stop in my tracks because Karen had come around and was now standing in front of me. She had her phone in one hand, and the other hand was on her hip. Jeez! From being startled.
Diapers.
What about them?
Where are they?
I guess the diaper aisle. I go around her and continue my trek towards the coolers because at this point, I need a soda.
These people just don't want to work nowadays.
Mind you, I'm in office clothes. I'm wearing nice black slacks, nice top, heels, huge purse, jewelry, etc. Nothing to denote I was a Walgreens employee. They wear gray smocks here for one thing. I stop. I turn around and face Karen as she starts walking away and say, "Not to overtax your one brain cell, but I don't work here," as I point at my outfit saying purse, heels, etc. Genius. Karen stutters,
"Well, but..."
Seriously, the fact that you people are allowed to be outdoors unsupervised is why we can't have nice things. Then I hear my name called for my shit and walk past the still muttering Karen. Why do I attract the crazy people? I guess I get confused why it's so hard for people, when they go into an establishment, to not only know the establishment they're going in, but at least familiarize themselves with the work uniforms in said establishment. It would make them look less stupid, and it would also save a lot of non-employees trouble from having to deal with these idiots. And our final one is from Appropriate Regret 50. Just stumbled upon this sub and saw some similar stories, so I figured I'd share this little gem from my college days. My bus was delayed by 5 hours at a long-distance terminal in bumfuck nowhere, rural Florida. I, short husky white teenager, was dressed in a black button-up, red tie, and black pants with my eyeliner and mascara from the Rocky Horror Show I had attended before traveling, probably looking a bit worse for wear. I was sitting for a decent while when I noticed that an older, probably late 60s or early 70s lady was trying to do something on a self-service kiosk and muttering to herself in Spanish. She seemed to be getting frustrated and was darting her eyes around for employees, but the place was packed due to the delays at around 3 a.m., so not many were around. Someone eventually did stop to try to help her when I heard, "No hablo inglés," causing the person to just look kind of puzzled and walk off. I was in my 3rd semester of Spanish at the time, so I slowly walked over and said, "Excuse me, do you need some help?" She asked if I spoke Spanish, to which I replied that I was still learning, but would do my best. She clapped her chest with a literal "Dios mío," and we pleasantly worked through what she needed done, and we went our separate ways. Someone had taken my seat, so I was just standing around for a minute or two. Then I get the tap on my shoulder. I turned around to see this large white woman with an inordinate amount of luggage and a child in tow. The kid is nose deep into a DS and isn't really paying attention, but she looks me up and down with what appeared to be disgust before demanding that I
get her luggage to wherever it has to go.
I had no idea where that is, and was honestly super exhausted, so I start to say, "I'm sorry, but I don't Before I can finish, she butts in with,
"Don't you fuck with me. This place is going crazy and every other employee is busy, so even an office guy or supervisor or whatever you are should be out here working with customers. I saw you help that other lady, so you can damn well help me with my bags."
I raised my hands and started to explain that I didn't know anything and didn't work there, but she was not having it and started to raise her voice a bit. At this point, her child notices her volume, looks up at me with what seems like a mixture of confusion and embarrassment, then tugs on her shirt and says, "Mom, I don't think he..." She turns quick and gives him a snit, not even a shush, just like that loud click hiss noise that dog whisperer guy used on TV. Then she started in on me being a
lazy, unprofessional snowflake,
or whatever. Just then, the elderly lady comes up from the side of us, shaking her cane at the large woman and shouts in the best English she could muster, "You leave my nephew alone, he's a good boy." Big woman turned to see this old lady with straight up lightning in her eyes and the big bit of mahogany inches from her face, then just turns around and leaves with her kid. No apology, nothing. Once her and her kid are a fair distance away, I thank the older woman and she just motions for me to follow her. We go outside to a bench by the entrance and she offers me a cigarette as she lights one up. I say no thank you. She then pulls a thermos out of her purse and offers me some coffee. I once again say no thank you, but she pours it anyway and comments how the coffee here is so terrible. Turns out she was visiting from Guatemala to see her son who works with a company that imports, blends, and roasts Guatemalan coffee. We're both coffee snobs, so we just sit there and chat about coffee, our families, and why on earth I'm dressed like I am until her bus is called to port. I, of course, offer to help her with her luggage, but she says she only has one small bag and is fine carrying it. Definitely an interesting capstone to a very interesting weekend. I honestly wish some people would do a little bit more research before just assuming somebody works in an establishment. And in this case, regardless if things are hectic, you don't just approach someone and start going off on them. I'm glad that this old lady was able to come back and help you out after you helped her, and that things ended so humbly. Alright, that's enough stories for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of I Don't Work Here Lady. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.